Right then, Premier League football is back, and Manchester United have got Southampton coming up. And Southampton have had a challenging start to the season. Currently sitting at the bottom of the Premier League table, no wins from their first 3 matches. Not looking good for them. But their recent performances have been very interesting, and the way they play is very interesting. But the team has yet to find rhythm in the Premier League, and I find it fascinating. They haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 4 games, all competitions, but they're facing an opponent in United they haven't beaten in 15 games that doesn't score a lot of goals. Now, Southampton I find very, very interesting. All the time that you get a team that does well in the Championship, you very often have one of the teams that comes up from the Championship has played like a mad brand of football. Now, last year it was very obvious with Burnley, and I spotted early doors, they're not going to be able to play the same way that they play in the Championship. Company's going to have to change. He did a little bit, but it was a little bit too late. And that's the one thing that Brentford did when they came up. They played quite expansive football. They switched it up. They went percentage, and they stayed in the Premier League. And I think now they're going to start to build, and they might start to adapt how they play. Southampton, when you start to see their possession stats, it's mad. They hold the ball absolutely ridiculous. They're a very, very interesting team from a tactical point of view. Their philosophy is dominance of both territory in the final third, but also of the ball. They like having inverted fullbacks. They like quick, short passing combinations through the middle of the pitch. They have sort of sustained and long and sometimes a little bit slow build-up. And it genuinely means that the shape that you'll see them in will be very much 3-2-5, which we've spoken about a few times, 2-3-5, as someone will pop up a little bit. And you will see them hold on to the ball. They are smashing it when it comes to the possession that they hold at the moment. Now, what you will see is the centre-halves, Howard-Bells and also Bednarek, they're going to be at the anchor of this shape, whether it's a 2 or a 3 that they leave as they push forward and put more numbers and look to overload in the opposition's final third. They're very, very comfortable on the ball. They will be happy to pass, but weirdly, they're also happy to carry it. Last season in the Championship, these two carried the ball an absolutely ridiculous amount of times. They also completed more passes and maintained the highest passing accuracy of any other player in the division. They are comfortable on the ball, and that's translated into the Premier League as well. Now, Russell Martin likes those central overloads. He likes to create those central overloads when attacking the opposition. So what you will very often see is Adam Armstrong will drop in during the build-up, and then when the striker drops, Southampton are going to look to try and unlock more ways of getting in behind or creating overloads. Martin seems to pride himself on passing, one-touch play, and trying to move the defenders out of the shape that they're in to try and exploit a little bit of that space. Defensively, they press really, really high and really, really aggressive on opposition goal kicks, and they are very bold in their approach, but they're also quite capable of sitting in a low block if they come under pressure. Now, according to FBref, Southampton rank 2nd in the Premier League for possession so far this season, which is a stat that I had to double check. They're ahead of Manchester City. Tottenham are the leaders at the moment, and they're only 0.3% behind Tottenham. Ahead of Manchester City for possession for a newly promoted team is absolute madness. Now, the worry obviously is that doesn't have the attacking talent to be able to unlock opposition defences the way they would have in the Championship. And the worry for them this season is that it's also come without payoff, because Shukawara's 95th consolation goal against Brentford on Saturday is all that they have got to show for 68% average possession. Now, the data shows us that the notion Southampton simply keep the ball in their own half and pass it backwards and sideways is quite fictional. And that's proved by the fact that Southampton are third to only City and Tottenham in terms of progressive passes that are moved 10 yard or more forward. They've got 154 so far, which is only 15 less than the two sides above them, who are both on 169. Add to that the fact that Southampton are progressing the ball through carries as well, with City the only team that advanced the ball more than 10 yards through dribbling more than Southampton. City have registered an absolutely ridiculous 107 progressive carries across their 3 games so far, which have all been wins, while Southampton have registered 86, and they've all been losses. Now, again, in contrast, newly promoted teams Leicester and Ipswich rank the lowest for the same metric with only 32 and 33 respectively. Now, of course, progressive carries and progressive passes doesn't win football matches, but it's an indication of how they're going to play. And they are far more technical and far more forward thinking in possession than they're getting any sort of credit for. This is a very difficult game for United. The problem that they've got is that they are frequently fucking it up when they are trying to play out from the back. And I've got a whole video coming out on that tomorrow morning, so make sure to tune in for that. That's one of the things that you can catch them out on. If you press their passing out, they're only going to pass out. You can catch them there a little bit. Starman, even though we've spoken about how they are in possession, it's the finishing. It's Adam Armstrong. He got 24 goals and 13 assists in the Championship last season. We've seen Championship numbers translate very, very well over to the Premier League. He's quite Aguero-ish in how he strikes the ball. Not a lot of backlift, not a lot of telegraphing what he's about to do. Does not need a lot of room to get a shot off. He's very sharp in and around the penalty area. He's got very clever movement to get in behind. And like I said before, he tends to drop deeper. Out of two strikers, you'll see him drifting wide. You'll see him finding areas where he's able to get on the ball, and he's actually got very, very good passing ability and quite underrated creativity, and he's able to find runners with a decent final ball. The United 11 for me this week, quite obvious, I think. The only change, I think, is the change we're all expecting and sort of hoping to see, I would think. Onana in net, Mazraoui, Delo, De Ligt alongside Martinez, Ugarte, Menu, and Bruno. And then actually there is a decision to be made. And I wonder if he goes with Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford or Garnacho, and it could go either way, to be honest. I'm going to stick with Marcus for now. Zirk's in the middle on his own. And Ahmad on the right-hand side. Starman for United, match winner for United. I think it's going to be Zirkzee. I get the feeling he's going to capitalise on what's been a pretty decent international break for him and cash in with a goal in the Premier League. He will be the first point of contact when it comes to the likes of regains. He's going to have to be clinical with his finishing. He's going to have to be incisive with his passing. They press high from goal kicks, and I think it'd be very prudent for United to occasionally use that long range that Onana's got and try and find Zirkzee, because I think it'd be quite successful for him. Now, as always, we are partnered with our sponsors for the preview, Hollywoodbets. And Hollywoodbets has got a fantastic offer for you for this game. Now, my pick in what is a pretty must-win game is as follows. Bruno Fernandes and Joshua Zirkzee with 1+ shot on target, over 2.5 cards, over 8.5 corners. Harwood Bells to be carded, and United to win. Now, that's been boosted from 8-1 to 10-1. So if you stick a tenner on it and it wins, you get 110 quid back. And if you'd like to claim this bet boost, all you've got to do is click the link in the description. If you're new to Hollywoodbets, you can create an account and take advantage of this fantastic new customer offer. Like I said, the link is in the description. Odds are subject to change, and you must be over 18 to participate. And remember that football, and especially Manchester United, can be hella unpredictable. So this bet is only there to enhance your enjoyment of the game, and it's certainly no guarantee of winning. For more information on responsible gambling, please check out begambleaware.org. Right, now how do United actually beat this Southampton team? They're so good in possession. They're maybe lacking a little bit in terms of the final third. Sounds a little bit similar to United. And the first thing I would say to United is do not underestimate them. They haven't started brilliantly, but they have a knack of hurting you. And they also have a knack of giving every single team a chance. They're very brave in possession. They keep the ball really well. So if anything is off in our pressing structure, we could be the upset here. We could be giving them their first win of the season. And it's a game that United cannot afford to lose, so we certainly cannot be complacent in. Secondly is high regains. Most of their chances that they concede come from being dispossessed in their own third. They are brave in possession, and that can lead to sloppiness because, well, they're dealing with a lot of championship level players playing in the big league. So if you press them aggressively, they build up constantly. They're not going to go long. There is an opportunity there to create big chances with a big opportunity to score some goals. I would say that Southampton's bravery in possession is their biggest weakness. They're not going to hit a percentage ball for the sake of it. They're going to force the play at all opportunities. And it's about being patient. You know, they're about as desperate for a win as we are. So let's see if we can hold our nerve. Let's see if we can manage to get over the line in this one, because Jesus, do we need it. Anyway, let me know your score predictions in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.